Hi there, I hope you're having a good day and welcome back to another video. First of all, I want to say thank you to those who subscribed recently and of course to those who have been with the channel since last year. I really appreciate it. And let's get right into today's video. We're going to be comparing the brand new PG6 and its previous model, the PG5. Hopefully this gives you a rough idea on whether you should get the PG6 when they come out, or you should maybe just grab some nice PG5 colorways that are on sale. Now, I always say that I have an opinion on everything, so I will give an answer as to which one I think is better at the end. Also, shout out to the Soul Brothers channel. I watch a lot of Sammy's comparison videos, which I personally found very useful. So because I've got the PG6 in hand already, I just thought I'd do a comparison video here. If you want to watch my video on the PG6 itself, I'll leave a link on the top right corner. Okay, let's get started. And the first thing I want to talk about is probably the biggest difference between the two, and that is the technology used. A different technology changes the cushioning and core feel of the shoe, and obviously the way they perform on the court. And here I'm just going to go over as an average consumer, based on the core feel and cushioning setup, which one I like better. The new PG6 uses a full-length Nike React, and we don't see that too often on their basketball releases. We do see the React being used quite a lot in Nike's running shoes. Here in the PG6, I think they use just the right amount of React foam. If it was thicker, I actually think it'll be too much. And to be honest, I was really surprised by the step-in comfort of the PG6. They really didn't require any break-in time for me, so that was good. In comparison, the PG5 uses what they call the Air Dot Weld Strobel. It is also full length. The Air Strobel does feel more bouncy in this case. Putting them on at the same time, I think I'm going to go with the PG6. It just feels nicer on feet. And if I was to describe the PG6 using another shoe, I think it really reminds me of the Hyperdunk 2017, the low version of them. I did play in them a lot. Maybe it's because of the React foam. I did really enjoy playing in those, and the PG6 does remind me of that shoe. Looking at the traction patterns, they are also very different. The PG5 traction works very well since it's got that Kobe 9 traction pattern, but the PG6 is actually equally as good in this aspect. I would say that the PG5 is a little bit more squeaky, but both have a very solid grip. But for durability, the PG5 rubber also does not hold up very well. I do have two other colorways, one in that PlayStation 5 colorway, the blue one, and yeah, that's just not a durable shoe. On the other hand, the PG6 also does seem to be much more durable, but this is something that we'll need more tests on to confirm. As for the weight of the shoes, the PG5 is much lighter than the PG6. Both of these shoes are low-top basketball shoes. Here I'll put them side by side. You can see that the PG6 has a slightly higher cut around the ankle area, but both of them are low. And you see that both of these have a soft foam surrounding the heel cup. The PG6 foam here actually does feel softer, and it is something that I would personally prefer. In terms of materials, it's about the same quality mesh, both pretty thin layers. The PG6 does have this textile layer on the toe area, but I'm not sure if that's just this particular colorway. So breathability is excellent on both. Overall, to give you some highlights of what we talked about, the PG6 uses Nike React, whereas the PG5 uses Air Strobel. The PG6 has a nicer core feel to me, and the ankle area here feels a lot softer. The PG5 is lighter and a bit more low to the ground, and their mesh materials are about the same. So between the 5 and the 6, which one is better? To me, the PG6 is a clear-cut more ideal option. The main reason, like I said, the core feel is much better, and break-in time is very minimal on the PG6. From the PG line, my favorite is probably the PG3. I really like playing in these. I didn't get a chance to grab a pair of the PG1s. If I had them, I probably would have really liked them, but I think the 6 is going to be a very promising performer. So for our comparison today, I think the PG5 and the PG6 are quite different. Keep in mind that it really depends on your playing style and what you look for in a pair of basketball shoes. For me, cushioning is a priority, and the PG6 defeats the PG5 in that aspect. It's also interesting to note that even Paul George himself doesn't really wear his newest signature shoes too often. In the NBA games, we saw him going back to the PG1 or even the PG 2.5 many times. I think that just goes to tell you that everybody prefers a different setup, and for me, I would take the PG6 over the PG5. So that's all for today's video. Please feel free to provide some feedback on this type of comparison videos. Also, let me know if you're hesitating between any two pairs of sneakers or two pair of basketball shoes, and maybe I could provide some insight on it.